If you want to be my lover, first you have to be my friend. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom.
From the heathens, got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take
Today is going to be a very polarizing topic because people are going to argue, no, I like this better, I like that better. I'm just here to tell you one can be used for one thing, one can be used for other thing. We don't have to fight, ladies and gentlemen. Percentage-based training versus RPE, rate of perceived exertion. That is the two things I am comparing. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong. I'm just saying I myself like to apply percentage-based training and RPE training for two totally different types of exercises. So let's start off with percentage-based training. A lot of programs are based on percentage-based training. 5-3-1, conjugate method, just normal powerlifting programs, things for athletes. There's just one drawback. It doesn't take into account how you feel that day. So let's say you didn't get a good night of sleep, you're really busy with work, you've been training too much, you're a tad bit overtrained, or you were overreaching on your training. Percentage-based programs really, for the most part, don't take that into account. Bad ones anyway. Good ones do. That's the only drawback I see with percentage-based training. So percentage-based training, you're basically gonna go like this. Let's say I have to do a front squat and I gotta go with 78% of my 1 rep max. You're gonna take your true 1 rep max, multiply it by 0.78, and whatever number is on the calculator, that's what you're going to be front squatting that day. A big mistake with percentage-based training, though, is a lot of people don't do their true 1 rep max. They do what they think their 1 rep max is, or what their 1 rep max is once upon a time, what it was. Or they use a 1 rep max calculator where they see, oh, I could do this for 10 reps, so that must be my 1 rep max. No. When you are doing percentage-based training, you have to be pretty goddamn close to your actual 1 rep max, or you're defeating the purpose of using percentages. Now, RPE-based training, rate of perceived exertion, is where you decide after the set how difficult that was for you. How many more reps did you have in the tank? This is a good method to use. The only drawback I see with this is some people are not honest with themselves. They'll say they're doing like an RPE 9 and they really have like 5 more reps left in the tank. Just because the bar speed decided to slow down a little bit doesn't mean that the RPE exponentially goes through the roof. That's why I don't like RPE training as much with big compound movements. I find RPE training is better for more advanced lifters and athletes because they have a better gauge on how far away they were from failure. Now let's compare the two and where they can be beneficial in different areas of your training routine. When it comes to big barbell compound lifts, I personally prefer percentage-based training. Why? Because these big barbell lifts that I'm doing, I most likely have a 1 rep max set for that exercise. So when I do Zercherov pins, I know the heaviest one I did in the last couple of months was 405. So I know to base my training off of 405 pounds. I don't have much experience with RPE because every time I've tried to use it for the big compound lifts, I just find half the time I'm rewatching the video going, how many reps did I have left? But I don't want to base my training based on what my training looked like on videos, because anyone that's ever filmed themselves knows most of the time the weight moves better when you watch yourself on camera than how it felt. So sometimes you might be terminating a set far too early just because it feels hard. And that's where I find is the main con of RPE training. Let's flip it around and talk about where RPE can be good. Assistance work is very good to use RPE-based training, rate of perceived exertion. I don't even know if I said that, by the way. So how hard you deem the set to be. So if I'm doing a set of JM presses or tricep pushdowns or barbell rows, I don't have 1 rep maxes for any of that shit. So how am I gonna set up some good percentage-based progression schemes for those exercises? I really can't. It's hard to do because I'm not going to tricep push down a 1 rep max. I'm not going to attempt to do that. That's stupid. That's where you are going to see, hey, how hard are these sets going to be? So a good way, if you don't want to be in either camp like completely, is I like my first 1 to 2 exercises, the big compound lifts, to be based off percentages of my 1 rep max. Afterwards, the smaller assistance movements that I might not have an established 1 rep max on, that's when I like to use rate of perceived exertion. So just think to yourself, an easy template or blueprint for yourself. Do I have a 1 rep max for this exercise? No, use rate of perceived exertion. Do I have a 1 rep max for this exercise? Yes, use percentage-based training. It's very simple. We don't have to fight. We don't have to argue. We can all get bigger, stronger, better using the same or different methods. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.